something happens. And before you even decide anything, you've already reacted. The words are out. The message is sent. The peace you had 2 seconds ago is gone. And then you think, that's not who I want to be. If you've ever felt hijacked by your own reaction, dragged around by something inside you that moves faster than your judgment, listen up. Because between what happens to you and what you do about it, there's a space. And your entire life is decided in that space. Today, I'm showing you how to find it and how to make it wide enough to actually live in. Here's the truth. You are not weak because you react. You're just untrained. Nobody taught you that there's a gap between the trigger and the response. So you've been living with them fused together your whole life. Something pushes, you move. Someone pokes, you fire back. And you've been calling that just how I am. It's not how you are. It's a skill you never built.
First, understand what's actually happening when you snap. Something sets you off, and instantly, faster than thought, your body floods. Heart speeds up, jaw locks, heat in the chest. And in that surge, the smart part of your brain goes quiet, and something older, dumber, and louder grabs the wheel. In that moment, you're not choosing anything. You're being driven. That's why you say things you regret. That's why you send the text you wish you could take back. That's why one rude comment can wreck your whole afternoon. Stimulus and response are welded together, so anyone who finds the right button can move you like a puppet. And here's the part that stings. When someone provokes you and you react, you think you're standing up for yourself. You think you're being strong. You're not. You just handed the controls to the exact person who provoked you. They pressed a button, and you performed. Nothing gives another person more power over you than your own reaction. Nothing. The person who can't control their reaction is a person anyone can control. Now, I need to be clear about something, because a lot of people get this dead wrong. Building this space does not mean going numb. It doesn't mean feeling nothing, caring about nothing, turning into a rock. That's not strength, that's suppression. And suppression is a trap that looks like discipline. Widening the space doesn't mean deleting the emotion. It means you stop letting the emotion make your decisions. Feel the anger, all of it, and don't let it pick your words. Feel the fear fully, and don't let it make your choice. The emotion is information. It's telling you something matters. You don't shoot the messenger. You just don't let the messenger drive the car. Because here's what happens to people who bolt the log down and pretend they feel nothing. The pressure doesn't disappear. It builds. And one day it blows, at the worst possible time, on the wrong person, over something small. The goal isn't to become a pressure cooker with the lid welded shut. The goal is to become wide open, so the storm passes through you instead of exploding inside you. From the outside, those two people can look the same. Inside, one of them is about to detonate, and the other one is free. So how do you create the gap in the moment when everything in you wants to react right now? 3 moves. Move 1, one breath. I know it sounds too simple. It's the whole hinge. When a surge hits, one slow, deliberate breath jams a sliver of time between the trigger and the reaction. And in that sliver, your thinking brain comes back online. That breath is the door into the space. It's not magic, it's just enough of a pause that you stop being driven and start being able to choose. Move 2. Name it. Silently in your head. This is anger. This is my ego wanting to defend itself. This is fear pretending to be logic. The second you name the emotion, you step outside of it. You're not the anger anymore, you're the one watching the anger. And whatever you can watch, you can no longer be fully ruled by. That's the whole trick. You put a name on it and it stops being you. Move 3. Ask one question. Is a response even required? Because most of the time, it isn't. The insult, the slight, the bait. Most of it just wants your reaction. And giving no reaction isn't weakness. It's the loudest signal you can send that you're the one in control, not them. Silence, chosen from a calm place, says everything. You cannot move me. Not reacting is a flex most people are too weak to pull off. Now, here's the part nobody in this space will tell you, and it's the part that actually changes your life, instead of just giving you a trick to use once and forget. Your
biggest, most out-of-control reactions are usually not about what's in front of you at all. They're old wounds getting touched. When something makes you react way harder than it should have, that extra intensity isn't coming from the event. It's coming from something inside you that never healed, and the event just brushed against it. Be honest with yourself. The comment that shouldn't have hurt but wrecked you. The tiny disrespect that had you fuming for hours. That's a map. That overreaction is pointing straight at a spot inside you that you've been avoiding. An old fear that you're not enough. A rejection you never dealt with. Something you've been outrunning for years. And as long as you refuse to look at it, anybody can trigger it. You'll keep getting hijacked no matter how many breathing tricks you learn. So, the real work isn't just controlling your reactions in the moment. It's going inward and dealing with the wound that makes you so reactive in the first place. Because a wound you've actually faced loses its grip on you. Once you've sat with your fear that you're not good enough and made peace with it, an insult about your worth has nothing left to grab onto. You've already been there. You already handled it.
That's why the strongest people you've ever met aren't the ones who feel nothing. They're the ones who've been to the bottom of themselves and came back. You can't control a reaction whose real source you refuse to look at. The buried thing keeps grabbing the wheel until you finally turn around and face it.
And understand this. Nobody is born with this. This isn't a personality some people got and you didn't. It's built, one pause at a time, in 1,000 small moments. Every time you feel the surge and take one breath instead of firing off, the space gets wider. Every time you name the emotion instead of becoming it, the part of you that watches gets stronger. Every time you sit with something uncomfortable instead of dumping it on someone else, you prove to yourself that the feeling can't run you. It's reps. It's exactly like the gym. The rude driver, the dismissive text, the unfair comment, those aren't threats to your peace anymore. They're your training equipment. Every single one is a rep. The stuff that used to break you becomes the exact thing that builds the version of you that can't be broken. And slowly, that gap that used to be a hair trigger becomes a room you can walk around in. The reaction that used to fire instantly now waits for your permission. You stop being weather, thrown around by every gust, and you become the sky the weather just passes through. That's the standard version of you. Not the one who never gets angry. The one who gets angry and still chooses.
That's power. Real, quiet, unshakable power.
Think about who you turn into when this space is wide. You move through your day unhurried, because nothing out there can grab your inner state without your permission. People feel it the second you walk in. A steadiness they can't name, but can't ignore. You can take criticism without falling apart, and take praise without getting high off it, because neither one reaches the place where you actually live. You can be in the middle of conflict and stay clear, because the storm is passing through open sky instead of blowing up in a locked room. That's freedom, not doing whatever you want, the deeper kind, where you refuse to be ruled. Not by your circumstances, not by other people, not by the parts of yourself you never dealt with. It's the difference between a life that just happens to you and a life you're actually running. And it all comes down to that one space between what happens and what you do next. Guard it. Widen it. So, next time something hits and you feel that surge climbing, remember, there's a space. Find it with one breath. Step into it. Name what's there and choose from a calm place who you actually want to be. And when a reaction runs way deeper than the moment deserves, don't just stuff it down. Turn around and face what it's really pointing at. That's where the freedom is hiding. Be the one who doesn't get driven. Be the one who owns the space. Because the person who controls that space can't be hijacked by anything or anyone. If this hits something in you, subscribe, because everything on this channel is built to make you the standard version of yourself, the one you already know you're supposed to be. Drop the one reaction you're done letting control you in the comments. Now go build the space. I'll see you in the next one.